How's it going, everyone? So, currently, we're gonna hop over to Forex Factory. We have elections all day, so not exactly sure how that's gonna pan out just because I've never traded through an election. So we'll probably be pretty patient with that. Um, you guys can hear me all right, right? Just double checking. Sweet. All right, so knowing that, going back here, we're gonna go down and see what's going on. So hopping into our weekly chart, right, are getting a move up, right? So that's obvious from yesterday. And if you were in the live stream yesterday, our bias did play out. Um, got to move up into this order block, right? We are reaching a little bit into that. If we look at our displacement range here, have that marked out. And then also, if we just look at the midpoint of this, right? That lines up pretty much with that order block. That was my idea. So unless we're going to go reach for these highs, right, and up into this fair value gap up here, I'm pretty happy with this to be a high of the week if we're going to go lower, right? So keeping that in mind, we'll probably, I don't really like a lot of stuff on my chart, so we're going to leave it like that. But um, elections generally don't affect until the day, late afternoon, early. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. But yeah, with that in mind, going to a 4 hour, you can see obviously mitigating this, reaching up into this order block here, right? So we'll just leave that there, or I'll actually change the color on it a little bit. That's our little order block, right? So could expect some sort of reversal or a point of interest there, reaching up to the high of this range, right? Needs this candle, right? So gonna leave that, I'll leave that one there. So drop into the hourly, you can see yesterday we had to move down into the hourly order block, retch higher, just took 4 hours to do it. And then you can see came back down, mitigated, reached for previous highs. So this is our intermediate term low. So if we're going to switch to a bearish trend, we're going to need to break this. Okay. So we're going to go in here because it looks like we do have a fair value gap. This is hourly fair value gap with hourly order block next to it. So we'll look at that. What's up, scale out? So that is our 4 hour order block, I think, right? Yeah, 4 hour order block. I'm actually going to label that so I don't forget. All right. So 15-minute, right? That hourly fair value gap comes from this low not being put in. So we have internal liquidity resting there. So if we're going to continue a little bit higher, put in a high of the week, what would I want to see? I'd want to see some sort of break into this area to then go higher, to then go lower, right? So that's kind of the idea for today, looks like. But we're just going to let it play out. Let's see here. Okay. And real quick, we're going to look for our midnight open right in here as well. Extend that out a little bit more. Midnight open, 8:30 open is going to be right up here, but we'll leave that there. Exact same annotations. That's awesome. Yeah, watch. value area. Gotcha. How did yesterday play out for you two? It was pretty good. So I had the right bias, right? Because we wanted to reach down into this hourly order block, midnight open. We got that. I just wanted to see this reach for these highs right away, so that kind of screwed me over. And then, we obviously got that deviation and then the rip up in the afternoon, but I was already doing other stuff with my day. So didn't do super hot yesterday, but that's all right. Virginia value area. That's so funny. Gotcha. The downwick. That's going to be the most sensitive area. The downwick for the open. And then you could use the mean threshold of it if you wanted, right? So, going down to the 5 minute, you can see nothing really too aggressive to the downside yet. We did have this put in this intermediate term. I bet continued higher, right? So unless we break some actual structure down, not too interesting for me. And then also, normally if we get this move, well, Asia didn't do it, but London move, if we're going to get a classic buy day, we're going to need to take some lows first. Bitcoin, yeah. A bit confused. Bitcoin, I can look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin USD or something, USDT. We'll just do Bitcoin futures. I mean, so have this fair value gap here. What is this day? All right, we're just gonna say 4 hour, whatever. You have this fair value gap here. Internal liquidity gets taken, can't displace above. Can't displace above, gets displacement below. Reaches into this order block. I'd expect something like this on the daily. Let's see. A bit confused on weekly daily time frame. We'll just open that up. September 20th. This one. 28th of October. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Not really sure what you're confused about, but I'm pretty sure Dow took this high, or it'd be most likely that it did. Let's see. Right. So if we look at the daily, you can see Dow did take this high, had that little divergence. NASDAQ didn't. ES got pretty close, right? So had the divergence between those. As for this, I would have preferred ES to reach higher, right? But we did take this previous high on the first and then get a red. So if we're going to continue monthly red, go down or higher. Doesn't really matter to me. I don't really pay too much attention to the daily time frame other than points of interest because I'm not a positional trader. So there's a 30-minute BPR too. Let's see. I rarely look at the 30-minute, I'm not gonna lie. So here's the one thing, that BPR would work, right? Yeah, you have this BPR here. The thing about me is I prefer my BPR like this, right? So you have some low, aggressively take it, aggressively come. I don't want to just go anywhere, then come back to it, right? Because at that point, what if you're on the buy side of the curve, sell side of the curve, then you're targeting this low, right? That's why you can get screwed over. So I prefer aggressive move down, retest that low, which is your BPR, then to go, right? So that's why I am not going to mark it out. You definitely can. But that's what I like to see. Analysis on gold. Yeah, I'll look real quick. See one. Oh, nice. So, gold, right? What do we do? Took these lows, can't displace below it, because yes, they're a little broadening formation. And then what do we see? Other side of the range, right? So right now we're currently a little bit range bound on gold. Do you have this aggressive displacement up? Would want to see something. This possibly. But I never walked gold, so I don't really know how it moves. But maybe a couple days down, another displacement leg up to here. That'd be my idea. If you want like a lower time frame analysis, it would be up currently, but trending down, you can see takes a low, aggressive down, aggressive up. This is your BPR. Would have returned, would have more preferred to return to it right away, but I mean, that point's up, right? So, let's see real quick. I'm missing a couple. Let's see. XAU, isn't that XAU? Does that move the same? XAU. Yeah, that's a similar thing. So, not gonna go over that one. The uncrewed. That is a CL1. Sorry, this was when Alex was at my house and it's just messing around. Alright, daily. Gotta delete this. Alright, so took this previous low. Right, this is what Alex called on Twitter. Right there. Right? Mitigate this order block. So you're expecting this high to be reached for. And then this is your second leg up. So ideally you go reach for this high here. Now that you also have equal, I don't know if it got taken, but it might have gotten taken. So maybe a little retracement too here. Right. That's what I'd expect on crude. Dixie, 5 minute. I just love looking at my previous annotations, right? You can see, took this low right there, and then that's why I had this little marked out, this high. And if you look, what do we do after we take that high? Can't displace over it. Where do we go? Well, we put in liquidity here. Can't displace over this high, right? So once you fail this side of the range, you expect to see the other, and that's where you get this broadening formation, right? All right, now I'll get rid of those. It's just fun to look back on. Oh wow, this looks like crap. This is what I'd expect to see. You rich right there. I'd want this lows. But I mean, also I haven't even looked at the higher time frames. Yeah, I'd want the low taken. Once you take that low, we go higher, right? Fail this side of the range, reach for the other side. What ticker is that? CL? It should just be CL. S&P shooting. I'm just going to be annotating most of it today. I might trade some options. So it looks like we reach right up into our 4 hour, right? So depending on the structure we get on the lower time frame, right? Which this is our intermediate term low. So if we are going to get some sort of sell off the open, we're going to want to see displacement. I prefer another short-term low to be put in, displacement below that, right? But just kind of chilling because there's no bearish structure yet and there's no reason to try to look long off the highs, right? What's I don't know what this is. CID. Wow, that's kind of clean. I'd expect a retracement. If you look previous lows, previous lows. Normally when you run previous lows, you get some sort of displacement back up into the range. However, we didn't. It's looking really weak, but this also correlates to the Dixie, right? So I'm not exactly sure because I don't really trade Forex, etc. But just based off of this, I'd want a little pop over this high, even if it's weak. Fail this side of the range, and then if it wants to go back lower, go back lower. But obviously, I don't know how that correlates to Dixie and other things. Um, so, yeah, I went over my bias a little bit. Essentially, look on the 4 hour here. I marked out some point of interest here, but if we're going to reach higher, reach into this 4 hour order block, and then if that's going to be the high of the week up there, then I'd want to see these lows. But kind of chilling today. Which is best for entry, the order block or fair value gap? I mean, it's up to personal preference, honestly. We can go look at NAS real quick. Right? NAS is definitely weaker. Reaching for this breaker. Right? Just mark it as an OB. So we'll see. I don't expect NAS to go as high, right? Just because it's the weaker of the index. And then if you go look at Dow you'd expect to be higher already, right? And you can see ES right here. Let me get rid of some of these. But you can see ES reaching for this order block. NASDAQ not even close. Dow's already reaching for the highs, right? So that's why I'm saying Dow's already always out here wilding. UK 100. So many new tickers for me. Yeah, I think this will go higher. Normally when you get these big red candles in here, right, like this, that's going to be your order block. So you can see how you reach right below this order block into an unmitigated fair value gap, right? Similar thing here. Reach in there, and then it's just immediately green. You'd want to see it reach for the other side of the order block, right? The only thing that is a little concerning is what did we do? Tap that fair value gap right there. So I wouldn't be super biased on this, but I mean, here's another thing to look at, right? Fail a low, right? Where do you go? You reach back into the range. Yeah, and yes, that's some AMD. I can look. I mean, that's kind of wild. Almost bottomed out right at this daily fair value gap all the way down here. Right? However, no aggressive displacement up, so you're going to get a second leg down, reach into these order blocks, possibly come down, right? Pretty weak. I mean, so is tech. I mean, obviously, it's part of the NASDAQ. You look at the NASDAQ in comparison to everything else, it's all the way down here. So you expect tech and semiconductors to be a little bit weaker, right? Real quick, we're going to go to these lower time frames because we're starting to get a little bit of a move down here. So you can see retch up into that 4 hour order block. Now we're reaching down lower, right? So ideally, we're probably going to get a little pop back up into here, go lower. So broadening formation is not something ICT teaches. USD. Oh, nice. previous analysis. You can see, ran a low. This looks like a 4-hour fair value gap. Maybe 1 hour. Might have been that order block. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't remember that far back. Anyways, back out to the daily. So I'd say this wants to reach for the high, right? Just take the obvious. Where is it going? Well, ever since we probably ran a previous low down here, or, well, not going all the way back to like 19 something. Aggressive down, aggressive up, BPR, right? So that's your first. Then you get your sell out of that, takes a high, can actually close above it, right? Aggressive down, sweeping the lows, aggressive right back up. That's the important part, is it aggressively moved back up, right? So you go to a lower time frame, right? Aggressive down, aggressive up. I'd expect this to continue, maybe after running a low, right? Something like that. But obviously, I don't trade any of this stuff, so. Yeah, ICT Search and Destroy. It just goes with it pretty well. But let's see. Oh, did I check that one? Let's see. P JPY. Did I already check that one? It doesn't look like it. All right, we're gonna go over this one, and then if you guys have more questions, we can definitely go over those as well. So right here, looking at the daily, we're gonna hop out to the weekly on this one. But you can see I would have preferred for this low to be swept. Right, didn't quite get that, which is kind of annoying. But anyways, did still take lows. You can see super aggressive down, aggressive back up. Retest these previous lows down here, right? So continues higher, takes the high, and here's your, right? Runs a previous low, previous highs, right? So what I see here is this is our displacement range here, right? We retch into a premium, but we're just putting in equal highs. This could be our intermediate term high, equal lows there. So I might see something like this, right? And that would just be another fail of one side of the range, reach for the other side, right? That's daily bias. So I think lower time frames should be down. Doesn't look super bearish right there though. It all depends on this fair value gap right here, I say. Depending on the reaction you get out of it. You'd want to see an intermediate term high put in there. Yeah, this video will be saved. What state you live in? I see the GMT. Montana. Doxing myself. Trade options on. Have a Webull right now for a small little port to mess around on, but then TOS. ICT says no trades. ICT also says to no trades during lunch and then proceeds to trade lunch. So if it fits my personal risk tolerances and it's a setup I like, I'll take it. But most likely I'm going to be chilling today. Yeah, of course. Going back to ES here, you can see we're starting to get that little retracement up here. Right? Reaching into the 1 minute order block. This is if we're going to continue lower, right? Because this would be the low we need to break to break structure. Right? So keeping that in mind. I already voted. I did a mail-in ballot. Yeah. No, ICT, he's cool, but it's like, I swear he says stuff and then just does the complete opposite sometimes. So, didn't quite get a heavy retracement, which is fine. We have that 15-minute shooter coming in, right? About to trigger down. We'll mark out this though. I guess we already hit that. Oh, no, we didn't. But Trump all the way. I wish I traded during the Trump market. I heard it was like he'd tweet something out and it would just go wild. How long have you been doing this? About a year and 3/4. Silver Surfer. If you DM me, I'll tell you. I'm not gonna completely dox myself. Um, Tim, mostly everything through the 2022 mentorship there. When Trump spoke, just hit buy. That's sick. Um, Equities open is in 10 minutes. Can you say about your win rate? It's normally 65, 70%. The prop firm I use is Elite Trader Funding. It's in my, if you, in the description in my link. How many time frames do I watch at once? Great question. So this one normally has the day or the 4 hour or the 1 hour on there, right? And then I have my 5 minute up, my 15-minute up, and then this will be my lower time frame. Longer term, NQ short would probably be a better idea. But if we look at the lower time frames, that's what kind of matters right now. And they're pretty similar, right? You actually look, S&P is about to take this low prior to NQ, right? So I'd prefer S&P almost. So if we are gonna, this might be a little BPR, right? So if you look here, fetch into the 4 hour order block, aggressive up, aggressive down. We'll see what happens on the open, but if we get this little retracement, this is our M5 BPR right there. Um, can I donate somewhere for this great channel? I think there's a way to donate onto YouTube, or I have a link in my Twitter, I think. But I don't. Um, do I use one screen or multiple? I have 3 screens. So I have, this is my main screen right here, 27 inch, and then I have a side screen that's 27 inch that has like my streaming stuff on there, um, as well as Twitter and my Spotify that I'm listening to right now. And then on my right screen, I have a vertical screen with Discord and then this YouTube stream and chat on there. The rules are they're like any other prop firm mostly. The nice thing is you can get funded in 5 days. From California, nice to see you. Don't trade Bitcoin. I don't know. I just trade index futures, and that's good enough for me. So what I am seeing here, real quick, is we're getting a little consolidation here, right? So this is where you expect some broadening formations to occur, where you take out one side of the range, see the other side of the range, right? So I would prefer to see something like reach into here, go lower, right? So just to let you guys know, that's how I kind of see them. If you already have an account with my Forex funds, I would just, if you get too many, you can get a lot going on. I found that out. Ghana, nice to see you, Isaac. What markets do you trade? I just trade index futures. I'll sometimes look at CL, I don't know, maybe have some fun sometimes. Atlanta, that's sick. Anyone here from Arizona? Ratings from Morocco. Everyone's here. That's false OB or fair value gap. Focus on displacement over structure. If you watch my latest video, I think it will really help you out. We're gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna show you what I'd want. When trading options, just apply QQ. Both, depending. SPX can make you or ruin you. I learned that when I blew an account back, last winter. Make a course out of this. ICT already has a free course on his YouTube channel. Greece, dang! I wanna travel to Greece this summer. Choose them over FTMO. Yeah, just at index and just I'm used to futures. And I requested a payout. It's supposed to get Friday. Vietnam. Damn, we're from all over the world here. That's sick. Panama. Mini VIX is a negative correlation. Yeah, that's similar to Dixie. I have just found that VIX can do some stuff that doesn't correlate. I would say I recommend AM Trades, Sniper, so Matt Loper. There's a lot. If you go through my follows on Twitter, there's some good people in there. Ribs. There's a lot of other ones. Yeah. Oh wow, that's a lot of questions. Hold up, I'm trying to read these so I don't miss them. Brazil. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. Saudi Arabia. 800 away from passing 100k ETF static. That's awesome. The one thing I will say is don't focus on like trying to just get it right away. Don't size up because that's when you'll do irrational things. So just continue how you are. AM is the GOAT. I love AM. Florida. Your prop firm? I don't own a prop firm. I just am partnered with one. I haven't taken an FTMO challenge yet. Qatar. That's sweet. Are you coming? Dude, I would come watch FIFA. That'd be so sweet, World Cup. I should get a push pin map with everyone's location going. Alex, if you tell me how to do that, I will 100% do it. Enigma is just his like logo. I think people are trying to correlate it to something. I don't have the static account. I had the 25k. Belgian, Tom, you think? Canada. Google Maps. DM me on Twitter. Alright, so back to this. You can see, didn't really want that, but take that off real quick. I would have preferred a reach right over this high, right? Didn't quite get it. But then we did reach for this low. So, which I don't know if it reached into the 5-minute BPR. It didn't. That's so annoying. Give me 1 second. Gotta throw this in the Discord. Of course, my snipping tool is not working today, so. Toronto. I was in Toronto last spring. But yeah, big thanks to Gunny B because gave me this new stream layout, right? And so pretty cool to have like the little animated background, and then I can do something like this where right, I can switch it, and then I can have the chat up here, and then also the Discord chat in there, which pretty cool stuff. So I'm not saying it, Alexo. How did you like Toronto? I was only in there for 2 days. Um, I was only there for 2 days. My little brother and I went up to Canada, flew to Toronto, and then we went to the Dominican Republic. So this was a little bit annoying that it didn't reach up there. I might be setting up internal liquidity for open to pop up there. So we'll see what happens. Um, it's kind of looking like it's going to go up again, right? So failure to displace under this low. That's our Brownian formation. So you don't want to see it reach back up into here. But I prefer a little something like that. Let's see. Discord public. There's a public section and then a premium section. I post all my stuff in the premium section. Yeah, of course, Justo. I personally want lower prices. I would prefer to have this be the high of the week, honestly. But will it be? Who knows? Um, yeah, I have done a few videos on scalping if you want to check those out. I have never been to India. Live every day? Not live every day. I am just doing, since I don't have school today because of voting, I'm going live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, just kind of for fun. Explain the 5-minute BPR? Sure. So we'll delete this drawings real quick. So essentially all it is you have this aggressive move up into a point of interest, also sweeping a high, right? See that? And probably a little volume spike there, right? Now you get an aggressive move back into the range, right? So how do you know it's aggressive? You have fair value gap here, and you also have fair value gap here, right? So you take whatever one is smaller, right? Which is this one, extend it out. That is your BPR, right? Aggressive up, aggressive down. And that's why I wanted this to take out this previous high, reach right into that before dropping. But you can see we're dropping now, but it might be setting up this internal liquidity for open, which is why I wanted that little move down, up, back down. Are you planning on doing fully? Yeah, essentially. Gridlock Rally. I don't even know what that is. If you ever come up to Toronto, Blue Dot, I wish I would have known that back in the spring. Wait, school, how old are you? I'm 21. So, just got our RTH open, right? So, looks like we're gonna get a little move lower. Still kind of want this pop up, but may not get it. So the thing that sucks is like, if this would have happened here, we could have just shorted that instead of this. So that is our breakout structure now. So aggressively going lower. Where are we targeting on this? Well, we went over at the beginning of the stream. I want to reach down into here, which is also, right, just drawing it out here. See how that lines up right with the OTE there? So give me 1 second. Oh, likely that this just continues lower. This was the actual setup, it looks like. Just the order block hit. Kind of lame, honestly. I had the right idea, just didn't give me what I wanted. Are the trades you take. Usually, like, I'm pretty quick at trading. Sometimes, here, wait 1 sec. Would want to see some sort of retracement up here. Not obviously that long. Will I look for a long from fair value gap if there's a lower time frame setup, right? Wow. So little sucks because I was gonna take SPX puts right up there, but there we go. I do not because if you just look at where we closed yesterday to where we went, that will be the gap. So oh yeah, I talk too much, so then I miss some things. Let's see. So annoying, but look what did what we wanted it to. Freaking Dow and NASDAQ did what we wanted. See, that's when I normally have my other screens up to watch. That sucks. Kind of upset about that, but it is what it is. SPX versus there's not really. I mean, the gains are kind of exponential, but so well, nothing else we kind of learned from it, right? I should have been watching NQ as well because it did exactly what we wanted. Sucks, but so this would have been the NQ short, right? I would have put my stop right there, likely bodies, and then you want to target that area that we were looking at anyways, which actually is down here, but 6 risk reward. Oh well, can't catch them all, you know. What are your thoughts on automation? I would make a bot if I could figure out how to do that. Damn, 2 minute. All right, so we are into that order block, right? Oops. Order block OTE reaching for that midnight open. So give me 1 minute. So I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. We're gonna hop in here. We got a 15-second. So we get displacement over this structure. We should see something like this. Reach back up into at least a premium, possibly there. That's if we get displacement over structure, right? Which looks likely. That order block held price there. Yeah, essentially minutes. That's that's a funny name. You almost got me to say it. All right, but yeah. So this depends on if we get displacement here. Okay. You want to see something like that, but you want to see it aggressively close up. That's interesting. Yeah, if ES and NQ purge liquidity at the same time as the trade still valid. Yeah, you don't have to have an SMT. So, not failing to displace up here, so likely going to continue lower, which kind of sucks. You know, it is what it is. Pop back up the 1 minute here. So we'll see if we get a I never saw the last. That's okay. That's actually really, really funny. I'm sorry. Dixie. We can go look at Dixie. Is what we wanted Dixie to. I can't even remember. Take that 5 minute low, right? Is that what we're saying? Right? Which it did. I think we were talking about that low, right? Or we're talking about this one. I don't remember. Dixie took that low. Just kind of weird that indexes are falling with Dixie falling. So I'll go show you guys this real quick. So that was our 1 minute order block. Reached up into it, but failed to displace below those lows. Probably going to chop here for a minute. And nothing I'm interested in. If I'm taking anything here, it's just, that'd be straight FOMO, to be honest. Bullish for a bit. What do you go today, if any? I mean, I kind of went over my bias today, and Nas does not look super bullish to me. Wow. I just don't want to look at NAS right now. Dude. Okay, I actually have to screenshot that. Give me a minute. That's too funny. Oh, that's so good. So there we go, reach up into that order block again. So all that was is like, I'm actually gonna replay this for you guys so you can kind of see. So we form this up close candle, fail to displace higher than it. This becomes your order block or mitigation block, right? You never took any liquidity. So when you break below it, you expect price to come back into it, at least into here, to retest it to go lower, right? So that's why if you look, right, what do? We retest this almost pretty perfectly, right? Retest it, see new lows. So that's how you get into trend if you want. I just don't prefer to try to get into a trend at my point of interest where I expect a possible retracement, right? PT clean tea. Pot claim tea. Spain, nice to see you. Why do you not think? I mean, that was just my. If you look at my my analysis from this morning, you can see why I was expecting lower prices here, right? Just if I was watching NQ, we would have had a setup. So sorry about that, but am I nuts? Oh, that's good. Someone said in the Discord, um, if you put an A in front of your name, it goes "Am I nuts?" instead of "Oh, my nuts." So if this is gonna do anything, you need to see displacement up almost right here, right? Which I would prefer, even if we want to go lower, to see this. But will that happen? Who knows? Hmm. Yeah, so that's the one thing about BPR is like this would be pretty much back into premium. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't quite reach into it, but when that happens, you can use the bodies if you want to reduce your risk a little, right? So you take it here, put your stop at the bodies, and like that's already insane risk to reward, right? I'm just a little upset that ES didn't want to do it. London setup didn't. Yeah, we'll see. Why did I think we were gonna continue lower right here? Well, did we displace over this high here? No, right? Just like my latest video. And right here, right? If we can't displace below this, we're likely to see right here, right? But obviously this is a 15-second chart, so you have to be a little weary because like 1 minute hasn't closed. But I would like to see a pop real quick to right here at least. Right? Will we get it? Who knows? I'm bearish. Same here. JK my nuts. I'm actually, that's so funny. I can't. Okay, so we'll see if we get this or not. We'll see. It is what it is. We'll go look real quick. Dow has a bullish divergence. Yeah, so what he's talking about here is this divergence right here. Oh my gosh. Sorry, the lines are awful. So, right, see that? And you can see Dow already rich right up into this order block here, which is actually incredibly funny. So, going back here, starting to get a little move up. Why would we be bearish? Price broke, still said. I wasn't meant for this morning. Like I was bearish. Right now, I'm not really caring what's happening, but it's like without displacement over structure, why would you try to long this? You know. So right, like you could have taken this long right here whenever you test the previous low, which is kind of absurd, but like I don't know. I just don't feel like trading that right now. I like if I was in my Ninja, maybe because Ninja fills in like brackets, I'm way quicker on it. But so now you can see, took that high, but I ideally want to see over this structure. So at least something like this, if it doesn't just go right away. Yeah, it went right away. So there's how you can see live time. Failure to displace under these lows leads to the other side. That's how you get your broad information, right? So Um, Tradevate is faster than, and that's because you have to route from Tradevate to TradingView. So that's why I normally scalp on my Ninja. So there you go. You can see, took this high. So we'll see if we fail to displace above it, what is likely to happen. Come back into the range, right? And there you go, coming back into the range, right? Ideally, well, we already kind of bounced back up. Ideally, we would have came down here to do that, right? It's kind of just got bought up pretty aggressively. Yeah, I'll use divergences on lower time frames. Like here, we'll go to a 15-second, right? Wasn't really a great one. We'll see at the high if there's anything. Geez, Dow is so spreading. So you can see, what did we have at the high here? A little divergence, right? So yeah, you can use them. So there we go, right? We did put in this new high, failed to displace above it. This is our deviation from the range. Where do we go? See this order block here, which should be right at a premium of this range, right? Right there. So I expect this to continue lower. Why is that? Well, look at a higher time frame, such as a 1 minute, right? Did what we wanted. Took out this previous high, aggressively back through, wants to target this low, right? So this is basically a live example of my last video. So let's see. Is this what? Yeah, I enjoy doing this. Would you say a move is more significant if more than one fair value gap is created? I mean, if more than one fair value gap is created, right? So if we go down to the 15-second, you can see, well, we'll go 5-second in this case because it has a better example. One fair value gap. It's not super clean because it's such a low time frame, but when you have multiple fair value gaps on a lower time frame, it's going to be a single one on a higher time frame, right? So perfect example here, 1 minute has multiple fair value gaps. That's a single one on a 2 minute, single one on a 3 minute, right? So basically higher time frames, right? You can see how multiple fair value gaps just add. We'll hop out of the lower time frames here because I basically showed you what I wanted to show down here. We'll leave that one because I can't not delete it. So ideally here, get a little pop, come back lower. And the only reason I want that is this is our internal liquidity on a 15-second chart. So if we want to see this low, right, we're likely to run those stops, see lower. SMT NAS. Thank you for that. So SMT NAS here. Nice to see. So Nas already took that low. So make it a pop. And like I said, Dow is always out here doing some weird crap, man. Like it's just sitting in the highs while we're trying to find the bottom down here. So wrong on that one, right? Would have been nice. Thanks for who was that? Thanks, Augustine, for that. So there's no displacement. It's a pullback. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. You're bullish today? Yeah, I mean, I'll switch to being bullish once there's structure that aligns with that. But I'm not gonna try to be bullish when I see something like this, right? It's kind of how I go about things. So now, right, we're just consolidating. Would expect this high to be ran solely off the fact that pretty equal highs there, right? Yeah, Dow Jones is wild. Forex different than indices in terms of ITP concepts? Not really. I'd say they apply to most markets. So we'll see. Might get our retracement that we want. There we go, popping over the highs. We'll see what happens. We need to break over this if we're gonna get a move higher. Back up into a possible premium of this range. Right? So I'm like not really biased at all anymore. But you can see, remember our broadening formation we had drawn? Right? So now if we go break through this low, then we could see more downside. But instead, we're gonna maybe grind up on this, which is really annoying. E-mini futures. So you can either do ES1, right? That'll get you your futures. If you want the current contracts, that would be ESZ 2022, right? I just stay on ES1 just because that's where I do my analysis. NASDAQ daily bearish order block, my trend. So here's the thing, guys. You can be bearish on one time, bullish on one time frame, right? Like I'm bearish right now on a 15-minute chart, right? Like why wouldn't you be? Super aggressive displacement below. Yeah, you could get a retracement back up, but this is still bearish. Go down to a 15-second. This is bullish right here, right? So when you say in chat, I'm bullish or I'm bearish, it doesn't really mean a lot to me because I don't know what time frame you're talking about, right? Like higher time frames, like a daily, like yeah, I'm bullish up into this area, and then I want to see a high put in. I want to see lower. Currently bullish, right? So it's fractal, and you have to see that, right? So there's our reach higher. I bet. What's now? Let's see what Nas doing. I bet Nas rips a little higher here than ES, honestly. But we do have that SMT. Oh my god. Right? Just absolutely wild SMT. But I want to see something real quick. Because we're not analyzing NAS today. So if you do want to play that SMT, it would have been something like this, right? Somewhere like that. But we're just analyzing today. I'm not in a rush, so reaching up into that premium. Oh no, you're good. I'm just saying it confuses me if everyone's like, "Oh, I'm bearish, I'm bullish," and I don't know what time frame you're talking about. I mean, it definitely could, right? look at a 15-minute chart. That was my plan, right? Reach here, reach down here, look long. But this wasn't as clean as I would have wanted for a setup long, right? I mean, I probably would have taken it if I was just sitting on the 15-second chart, found a way into it, but I'm perfectly content with just kind of chilling and watching today. So it looks like, so Alex called out this 2-minute order block here, so saw this form, but how do we know if this is a reversal or a TTO? Just watch the lower time frames up in this area, right? If it's going to reprice up into here, right? Well, then you just watch the lower time frames, like 15-second, 5-second, to see what happens. Oh, it definitely could go to that BPR, right? But that's what I also said is once, like, sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve, right? So a lot of times if you're looking for this one right here, that's why I look for lower time frame confirmation entries, because if you're looking up there, you can definitely just get caught in getting ran over as it's reaching for that buy side. So let's see. So what do you think now the 1-minute time frame is changing structure? Not really too biased here, and that is the reason for that being is go out to something like a 15-minute chart, right? Take our current range on this, right? We're at OTE, kind of middle of the range here. So, and if you look, what did we just do? We repriced this right there. Now go down to a lower time frame. If we're gonna get something, I want to see lower time frame structure put in, break of that lower time frame structure, retracement, right? And then that's where you look short. But there's the reprice, right? See what NQ is doing. Remember how I said NQ is likely to rip a little higher than ES here? And you can see, did it do that? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I cannot draw. Right? So you can see that now. Reason for that being is it was accumulating right here. So short-term ES will be stronger, but most likely when you reach up a little higher, NASDAQ is going to distribute a little bit higher. So just something I've kind of noticed from SMTs there. So go back to ES here, check out the 15-second. Not very aggressive displacement down, so this is now our short-term low. We want to see it take this high, then we can get something like that, right? Dow reaching previous week's high. Yeah. Just a little confusing price action there. Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent for the most part. As in terms of bias, where we were going. We were watching price up here, watching price down here. Expected this to take the low, but then we have the SMT, right? Which led to higher prices, rebalance here, put in this low. And if you remember what I just said a second ago, I wanted this high to be taken, aggressively displaced drill here, see something like that. Yeah. So what he's talking about is right here. So we'll go reset these. You can see NASDAQ hasn't, I mean, we don't really need to go mitigate fully this fair value gap, right? Oh wow, Dow is just absolutely wild. So we'll watch that. I'm actually going to throw an alert right here. Add alert. All right. Now when it reaches down there. So you can see it didn't aggressively displace down yet. So similar idea is what you would want, something like that. And then reason for that being is then you get this little breaker, right? But how powerful is NNXN? It's pretty powerful. Most likely if you do ICT concepts, you do it subconsciously. A little bit. BPM. What do you mean BPM? Beats per minute, or do you mean BPR? I mean, we do have that BPR right here, but normally buy side, sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve, right? So, and you can see right here, failing to displace below structure, likely to see a little higher, right? Prefer 15 second. I do, especially in the morning. As we get a little bit later, 30-second looks pretty nice. NAS looks better on the 15-second later into the day, right? So, and for a few years, that's awesome. I mean, there's pros and cons to every prop firm. So I would say do some research for yourself, um, pros and cons, and figure out what works for you, right? What's the point of using 15 second? Gives you, so see this, how you just looks super chopped. If you go to like a 1 minute, right, you don't see anything in there. Obviously it looks kind of downside, but here you can see takes a low, aggressively moves up, takes a low, aggressively moves up, right? So that's why I'm looking for this high versus on a 1 minute, right? See this like shooter, wicks here, it looks like it's failing, right? Versus I want this high. And it will increase your risk reward, right? If you wanted to see, this was a 5-second setup, right? I don't really have to go to a lower time frame. There's a 5-second fair value gap right there, right? See that? 5-second fair value gap. So this is your 5-second entry. And then you would want to target there, but ideally, when it's super choppy, you don't know, you target internal liquidity. But even if you don't have a lower time frame, you can do the same thing. So like if you just have a 1 minute, you can normally pick out 15-second fair value gaps if you get some practice. So there we go, reprice, get aggressive move down. Probably had SMT. Go to 15-second here. Right, so I had that SMT. Now you can see NAS. Oops. NAS dropping pretty hot. Dow's out here wilding like always. So back to our 1 minute chart. So not super clean setups in my eyes today, right? I would have preferred this to run the high, then give it to us, right? We'll see what happens when we, that's what you'd want to see. Explain why you put the trend lines. I have a video, if you check out broadening formations on my page, should help out. So ideally we don't want to see this sustain into these highs if we're going to go lower, right? We want to see this reject pretty quickly. And there we go. Get that quick rejection. Now, right, you're going to have a little 5-second fair value gap there, right? So break a new low. And let me draw. If we break into this low, sustain, which we didn't. So just kind of choppy there. That's awesome, Drift. How long did it take you to absorb and learn all the ICT? I would say I watched the videos and kind of learned them mostly in like a couple weeks. And then it took me about a month and a half to 2 months of just sitting here and annotating to kind of get a good understanding of what price wanted to do, right? Just like little things like this, I've started to pick up too. Can't displace below that low, right? Likely to see here, broad information, right? Now you expect if it bounces off this little order block, you want to see higher prices, right? Which you can see it did. Just like little things like that. Obviously this is on a lower time frame, which just allows you to practice it more, but it applies to the same thing. So like, let's say you see this 5-minute setup and you see this same type of price action, then you can go to lower time frame, look there's setup there, right? The only lower time frame here is like 5-second, right? But you can see ran below that low, can't close, breaks the structure up. See, it's not super great here, but reaches into this fair value gap here. Just not liking it very much though, price action wise. Let's see. Lottery was rigged too. That's funny. Did you annotate real time like now or go back in historical? I did it real time mostly. Um, I find that real time is just better for learning. So, so like right here, right? Price is fractal. This looks like a cell model to me on a lower time frame, so I'd want to see this. The reason for that being is 1 minute point of interest, right? Well, 15 sorry, 15-second point of interest. So if you go a little lower, it becomes a little bit trickier. But this is our original consolidation, smart money reversal. Want to see this low, right? But we also have to get through this order block and ideally right into here. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. Just the 2022 mentorship. I don't have any. I do have like one trade video of me scalping the 15-second chart. Um, but real quick, I'm going to explain to you why I expected a bounce. Like I just drew that right there, where I said we had to get through that. Essentially, it's just the 50% mark of this order block, right? I just kind of drew it without putting a fib on there. You can see get a bounce, and if we go to a lower time frame, just because it's fun, what do we do? Sure, you guys are getting the hang of it now. Well, can't displace over structure. What do we see? Other side of the range, and there is our model, right? So reach that original consolidation. So let me explain that. Point of interest on the 15-second chart. Original consolidation, not including that, whatever. Smart money reversal, right? And you'd want this to see a little bit lower, right? Because you'd want it to take that low. So, no, I just do ES, so that is SPX 500. Ideally, you want to see this retrace back down, or not. So, you can definitely get caught up in the lower time frames too much, which happens, but we'll watch here. We can't displace above this high, reach back into the range, likely to see at least an OTE here, right? But I'm going to hop out of the 5-second chart because it can be a lot. What's up, hacking? It's been a while since we talked. We use the same amount per trade. Yeah, I use the same amount per trade. I have a funded account with Trade too, but also have a funded account with Ninja, and then my personal is with Ninja. So kind of lame there that we did that, right? So I would have preferred, what do I prefer to see? I would have preferred this just reach down even a tick or two more, come back up, right? But now it does look like we're going to reach back into an OTE here. So I'd want to see right there. But I'm not sure on lot size because that's more Forex. But yeah, I can probably go over a power 3 in the video. Oh, real quick, I'm going to go hop out to. So looks like we're going to go reach for these highs. Just the way Dow's looking. You know, it can displace above here. All right, I'm going kind of fast. All right, so there's our drop down. Want to see it aggressively bought back up once it reaches into here. Yeah, and there's also like a 0.7, right? You can add it in there if you want. The thing is, it's like if you have 0.62 and 0.69 or 79, you know your 0.7 is like right in there, right? So if you add your 0.702 or 705, I think it is, right? You can see not hard to kind of show where it's at in there. So that's why I just don't have it because I don't want it clogging up my screen. So we got to reach down into here. Now we want to see aggressive move back out, right? Not really that. So are you funded? Yeah. What prop firm? I had an Apex funded and Elite Trader funded. So see if we get this displacement up here. Kind of needs to go right now. Let's see what. Damn Dixie. So we'll watch and see when Dow reaches this high. Right. So quick little prediction there. Right. So, might not reach up into it. Let's see what Dow. That's kind of lame if it stops there. What volume? Do you expect volume imbalance? Where? That volume imbalance? Is that what you mean? Delete that. Probably gonna hop off relatively soon here. Why do you prefer S&P to trade, not Nasdaq? It's less erratic, right? Dow on a 15-second chart, like it'll just murder you if you're wrong, right? Like you can see how it moves a lot more erratic than S&P. So let's see. Finally, finally does what we want after annoying a little bit of time there. Let's see something interesting. All right, we should pop here. Something like that. What did you learn from a 15-second chart? Very noisy. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. If it doesn't work for you, I wouldn't recommend it. Um, but it just taught me a lot because it's like, here's the mindset I went about it. Ready? So if you have ES, right, you're on a 15-minute chart. The reason I switched is when I was trying to learn, right? So obviously, reach above this high into that 4-hour order block, right? So you can look for a setup in here, right? Okay, reach into here, midnight opening price, setup in there, rebalanced here, can look for a setup there, right? So like maybe 1, 2, 3 trades you could possibly see, right? When you go down to such lower time frames, like 1 minute, 15-second, price is fractal, right? So you get to see so many more different setups. It just allows you to learn a lot faster, or at least for me, right? Does that make sense? Right, so you can see failure to displace here, reach into this little fair value gap, right? That's why I wanted to see a high, and you can see finally completed this little idea here. So that's the reason I like the 15-second, and then it also allows you to refine entries, increase risk reward, etc. 1 sec. Yep. And you can see that, right? So when that fails, where do you want to see? Well, ideally, I'd want to see this internal low, right? Give us that little broadening formation, right? We can go lower, but it's like, I'd prefer this internal low because you get this, right? Impulse move up or displacement, right? Right there. Reach below this internal liquidity, go higher. Yeah. Or we go lower. It's whatever. We already repriced this range. So that's why I'm probably going to hop off, because these are normally the moves I like to trade and then, or take or look at, and then I like to hop off, right? And then there's little things you can notice, right? Like if we fail this order block here, we're likely to go up and do a little higher. Fail the order block, go a little higher. There's just lots of little things to notice if you watch price a lot. There's not a huge spread on the um, there's not a huge spread on the 15-second chart, right? Because if you buy if you buy bid or sell ask, you don't have any like slippage at all, right? Um, so here, yeah, I can post a link to that. Um, so this is the link if you want to join. That's like the paid one. And then a link to the actual server is there. All right, so let's see what happens. So you can see failure. We broke over that order block. We see much higher. So we'll see if we reach up into that order block there. I mean the BPR. See what Dow, Nasdaq doing. So a little SMT. We'll go up to a higher time frame. It's a little easier to see here for most. Probably a 1 minute. All right, so you can see this high right here. It's not breaking over it. S&P breaking over it. Dow's just absolutely nuking up, because what else does Dow do? BPR will get filled. I mean, most likely, will you get a reaction out of it? Who knows? Yeah, of course. I mean, there's no rush. I'm always on Twitter and YouTube trying to help people out anyway, so. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said earlier, I prefer to take a BPR when it forms right here, when you're on the sell side of the curve, versus when it's going against you there. That's just stuff I've personally found out for myself. There's everyone's different, everyone's strategy is different, just whatever works for you. Um, I think I know what you mean, Sakis. You just mean this, right? Yeah, Dow is just absolutely wild. So I'll probably get that alert. Yeah, you can look at it on whatever time frame you want, right? Some just make it easier to see, right? See how the 3 minutes pretty clean, actually, right? I just use 5, and that's why I don't take BPR on the buy side of the curve. Just absolutely ripped through that BPR. So that's why I prefer what I've already showed you guys. So, oh, go for it. If you have this little, uh, here, I'll move my screen in so you can see it a little. Well, here, I'll just screenshot. See on the side here how you have this little button right here? Just make sure that's clicked. I mean, you look at your higher time frames. Yeah, what's up, Leonard? I mean, so everyone's different, right? A lot of people will buy or sell a BPR. Like I would have bought or sold that, or I would have sold it if we were watching NQ, right? But since we were watching ES, it didn't reach up into there like NQ did. And then now we're on the buy side of the curve, right? And so this is what I mean. You're targeting this liquidity up here, right? Because if we go to a 1 minute time frame, right? This is your original consolidation area. Smart money reversal, second leg up. You want to finish up here, right? Above the original consolidation. So when you're on the, let's see if I can find the line to draw with that. Maybe like, oh wow, that is nuts. Curve. Yeah. So, oh, that thing's wild. Okay, so like right here, sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve, right? Once you recognize that, it's a lot easier to trade. But if you guys have any other questions, if you want to go ahead and ask them. If not, I'm most likely going to hop off soon, and you can see real quick, where did we just do? Just finished above that initial consolidation. Yeah, I'd agree. Long one. Oh, good to see you. I haven't talked to you in like a couple weeks. What do you target when you take your trades? Liquidity, right? Whether that's in a form of a high or a low, equal highs or equal lows, or fair value gaps, right? Because what are fair value gaps? If you just look at this fair value gap here, right? See how that's a fair value gap? Hop in replay real quick so we don't have to sort through it. What is that? Go to a lower time thing, like a 15-second. That's just going to be a high, right? Normally, and go lower, right? So you have all those highs right there. But not a great example, but you can go back test that and it'll show you. And there we go, higher. So you can see, if you haven't watched Alex's order block video, it's really good. You'll start to notice like this order block created, and this is similar to some analysis we did earlier in the morning on, I don't remember what, maybe like pound, British pound or something. Order block forms reach into that fair value gap that's unmitigated, right? And then you go higher. So this is now your order block or mitigation block if you want to say that. I do not trade crypto. What platform? This is TradingView. Long dong silver. That's funny. I mean, yeah, that's like a breakout essentially. Any trades? I didn't take any trades. I was just analyzing today, so hopefully that helps you out a little. If you rewind the stream, you'll kind of see my real-time analysis, what I meant. How long? How would you long the reaccumulation? So you realize this is reaccumulation, right? So you could either take a trade in here, or once it starts to break out here, you have this 1 minute order block. If you go down to a lower time frame, should have a fair value gap right there too. So lower time frame, 1 minute order block. Here's your 15-second fair value gap entry, right? Most high probability trades, you'll have an order block and then a fair value gap within it, right? I'll stream tomorrow. Index chart of Nifty 50. And what's the ticker symbol? I'll go for it. I don't know what the Nifty 50 is, so what is it? If you give me the ticker, I'll look at it. Otherwise, wow. So we wanted lower prices on Dixie. I just didn't expect that. Jeez, man, that's nuts. All right. BPR. If you check out my playlist, my YouTube playlist, it actually has a video on BPR in there. And just to let everyone know, I'm most likely going to release a video like Thursday or Friday this week. just because I'm live streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, if you want to tell me what Nifty 50 is, oh, it's literally Nifty 50. That's wild. Now I feel dumb. All right, so this is really choppy. So obviously, reach below previous lows, move up higher. I'm just going to treat these gaps as displacement. Okay, so you're reaching higher. What I'd want to see is what happens when you reach for these previous highs, right? Do you displace over them or do you fail to displace, right? If you fail to displace, then you want to target the other side of the range or right there, right? And once again, we'll broadening formation, right? And you get your, right? So all it is taking highs or lows. Yeah, glad to have you, Sakis. Yeah, sorry about that, Ender. Should have just typed that in. I didn't know Nifty was the actual symbol. It's kind of wild. But if you want to look lower time frame, a lower time frame looks better. Well, what's this? Ready? Reaching back into a discount of this range. What do you have here? Aggressive down, aggressive up. Right, so that's kind of your box setup or BPR. Then you want to target the other side of the range. Displace above, fail to displace back below a low. Right, if we zoom in here, right, can't displace below this low. Reach higher, right? If we reach back into this fair value gap, then you want to see, do we displace down? Do we trace back up? So, and if you look, probably got a volume spike here at the highs. Not really. So we're going to go back out to the 1 minute. Obviously, you want to wait for some structure to be put in, right? So if this is your short-term low, I'd want to see a little pop of this high, break structure down, delete right to there. That's if we come back into the range, right? Something like that. Nifty 50, okay. I'm not better than ICT. I don't give myself that credit. But I do have a different little style. I use those concepts, but I apply them to the way they work for me. 3,900. Yeah, it definitely could. So let me see. I said at the beginning of the week, I can't remember who I was talking to. I said, I think we might surprise and go up here, right? Which is definitely possible. And the reason I think that is it's similar to back here when I wanted, if you look at my daily bias video, is actually talking about this range, but I was fine with us just reaching above this high and then we retch all the way to 4,300, right? So I think we could kind of do the same thing here, right? I don't really know, right? I'm not a positional trader, so I don't really care, to be honest. Yeah, download my videos if you want. I they're on YouTube. I think you can download them. I'm not going to sue anyone for downloading my videos, and I don't think I even can. You got to realize my YouTube video is just to try to help people. Yeah. Yeah, of course, Ender. But yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, oh, the other thing I wanted to show you guys just cool is we Tim helped me put in this, so it's pretty cool looking animated background and has the chat on there, and then Discord chat too. But I think it's pretty sick. So, but if there's any other questions, let me know. And if not, I'm probably gonna hop off in 4 hours. Are we bearish or bullish? Well, pretty easy to see here. Ready? So if you don't know, yes, we have this displacement leg down, right? But are we currently trending up or down? Right? I'd say we're trending up, right? So that's bullish. And if you look what happened on the 4 hour yesterday, that little order block touch, right? Now we're up into that point of interest. And if you notice, that's where I got my point of interest from this morning. at 4 hour there. But NASDAQ had an entry when we shifted up. Let's see. Yeah. And I honestly just prefer ES even on the 1 minute there. Just that. But around 10:04. Yeah. Similar to there. Let's see. But yeah, if there's no other questions, big shout out to Tim for helping me set up these overlays. They're way cooler than my new ones or my old ones. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you have any questions, be sure to reach out. Let me know. And if you have any YouTube video ideas that you want filmed, let me know. I'm most likely going to make a box video because I think it goes really well with displacement, lack of displacement, and BPR. And I think it could help some people out. So probably going to do that one this week. But I'll see you guys all later. Hope you enjoyed it and have a great rest of your day. So, peace. Nozda, if you look up Alex Options on YouTube, he has a great video on order blocks there. All right. Peace, guys.